The Utah Jazz have had an illustrious jersey history with some really cool jerseys dating back all the way to 1974. I think that NBA history severely lacks remembering some lesser known jerseys and want to give some updated information with them. If you guys are interested, I've got a playlist on my channel that features NBA jersey history for teams, some dating back to 2017, but at least they're updated till then, and I plan on making more in the future. But forget that, let's get into it. Before we start, I'm going to be ignoring patches, straps, and decals. There is very inconsistent information about when and how they were used, and yes, some teams have them sometimes and may be remembered well. For example, the 9/11 patch in the 2001-2002 season for each team, but there are sometimes patches worn for only a few games, and that would be very hard to track prior to 2010. Some other notes that I may not mention when you see some of the jerseys I show off. The NBA logo was switched to the back in 2014, and the Nike logo and a jersey ad were added in 2016 for some teams. Nike changed most jersey designs during this time though, so I will probably mention it, but I wanted to keep it up front before that comes around. So in 1974, the New Orleans Jazz became an expansion franchise to the NBA. In that first season, the Jazz wore a very plain home white jersey with a plain purple away jersey. These would be the basis of what was to come later on. In 1975, the Jazz added a note logo to the front of the shorts of the white jersey and changed the J on the purple jersey to keep in tune with the note logo that was already on the white jersey. In 1979, the New Orleans Jazz moved to Utah, and with that came nothing. These jerseys remained exactly the same. In 1981, though, the Jazz changed their primary away jerseys to a green one. So that means from 1981 to 1984, the Jazz actually did not wear purple. In 1984, they went back to the purple away jerseys and actually added Utah above Jazz just for that away jersey. The home remained to not have Utah above the name. Another funny thing I found during this time, in 1985 and 1986, the Jazz wore their green jerseys that they had for the 3 previous seasons as St. Patrick's Day alternates. Now, I'm not too sure, but this may be one of the first times we saw a special day jersey that became way more prominent in the mid-2000s. Alternate jerseys already did exist at this time, but for a team to wear a specific jersey that technically wasn't a part of their rotation for that season, this may be the first occasion. In 1986 though, the Jazz finally fixed a few flaws that were on their jerseys from the beginning, with adding Utah above Jazz for the white jerseys and the note logo on the shirts for the purple jersey. Oddly enough, this was the first time in New Orleans and Utah Jazz history that the purple away and the white home were the exact same silhouette for both home and away. The green jersey that they did have was the same silhouette as the white jersey, but this was the first time that the purple actually completely matched the white. 10 years later, in 1996, the game for the Utah Jazz changed. With plenty of other teams having wild jerseys, the Jazz wanted to do something similar, and they added purple and light blue jerseys with literal mountains behind the Jazz wordmark. They removed green from their logo completely and switched to these absolutely phenomenal jerseys. These are probably regarded as the Stockton Malone era jerseys, and were actually worn to the finals in 1997. In 1998, the Jazz added their first official alternate jersey, a predominantly black jersey with brown accents for some reason. In my opinion, these actually look pretty sleek, and the only time in Jazz history so far that they've worn black. In 2004, the Jazz also wore their 1986 to 96 throwback jerseys. However, I can only find one picture, and I even went back and searched for that game and couldn't find any pictures from that game. But it exists, and they even mention it on the ESPN game recap, so they wore these throwbacks at one point this season. But in 2004, the Jazz went through a complete rebrand, most likely due to the loss of Malone and Stockton one season before. This meant for a change, and the Jazz tried to go big, remove purple from their jersey, and add in dark blue. The colors were now dark blue, light blue, and white. they had completely removed all colors from their previous jerseys and came out with these North Carolina-esque colored jerseys. In 2006, they added in these baby blue alternate jerseys, which made it even more seem like Tar Heel type jerseys, but that's really just up to how you see it. In 2009 and 2010, the Jazz actually added in their first classic hardwood throwback jersey. During this season, they actually wore the green alternate jerseys from 1981 to 1986 for 10 games that season. In 2010, the Jazz decided to change their set completely, and they went away from that blue and light blue to now a darker blue with green and yellow accents. This remains the color combination to this day in 2020, with some minor changes going on, of course, but still the same exact color combination. The next season, in 2011, the Jazz added an alternate darker green jersey, and in 2016, the Jazz changed the sides of their jersey, having a pretty short pinstripe instead of what was going on before, and also added in an Adidas sleeve jersey that removed all the word marks on their jersey. If any NBA jersey has the right to say they look like soccer jerseys, these would be the absolute closest. Also, the alternate green jerseys were to say Utah instead of the same Jazz word mark on all of their previous jerseys. In 2017, Nike took over the jersey changes and kept the home and away pretty much the same. The stripes on the side of the shorts were shorter, but other than that, it was pretty much a carbon copy of their Adidas jerseys from the season before. Also, that year, they removed the green alternate jersey and replaced it with a yellow alternate. The first time the Jazz have actually worn all yellow, even though I believe it fits their scheme really well. These jerseys removed the word mark as well and just had the note logo on the front. This year also added in the city jersey, which might be their best jersey in their history in my opinion. These are yellow to red to black gradient jerseys with the shape of Utah in red on the side of their jerseys. Nike added in city jerseys this year for each team to wear. They were to change every single year for every team, but the Jazz have decided to keep the same exact jersey for the past 3 years. In 2018, the Jazz added in 2 different jerseys, both with a little bit of history. In 2018, each NBA team who made the playoffs the previous season was able to have one more jersey in the rotation. The Jazz took their alternate jersey, which was yellow, and pretty much just changed it to green. These jerseys are considered the earned jerseys in their history. The second jersey added in 2018 was an alternate 1986 to 96 throwback purple jersey with a yellow word mark. These were obviously updated for the times, such as changing the siding on the shorts, but were considered classic jerseys for that season. And finally, in 2019-2020, the Jazz added in another classic jersey, the Mountains jersey from 1996 to 2004. These were, again, a part of the classic jersey line that Nike and NBA cooked up and had a few teams wear each season, with the Jazz getting 2 classic jerseys 2 years in a row. Alright, so not counting a few things here and there that changed throughout the years, this was the Utah Jazz and the New Orleans Jazz jersey history. Did I miss anything? I could have missed some jerseys in the mid-2000s, so if you see anything missing, please let me know down below. If you like this video and want to see more like it, or other NBA content, go ahead and subscribe, and I hope I'll be able to fill that for you. I also have a second channel where I play games at. It's Leap Plays, and it's linked down below in the description and on my channel box on my page, if you want to check that out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.